How are you, ladies? I'm so
Hi.
excited to see you.
Good to see
It's great
you.
to see you. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm so happy to be doing this.
Oh,
It's
good.
it's it's not the very first time I've talked about the book. I had one last week with a librarian in Long Island, but other than that, it's really the first conversation. So you guys are it's nice to have like a friendly venue for that.
Yes, yeah, I imagine.
Yes, you can practice. Yes, because as a reminder, you know this, but it's not live. So
Yeah,
you can
Yeah,
always say
I
something.
cherish that.
as
It's
do
like,
we.
was I supposed to reveal that family secret?
Oh my God.
Um, it's great to see you. How's your summer been? Good?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
Lots of
Good.
reading.
Yeah. Lots of good reading. Like your book, we both loved it. Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's awesome. Did you have
Yeah.
it? You had it in ARC, right? You didn't have the final copy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in terms of accessibility, there are some fun things that didn't make the ARC. So, let me tell you, because it will make a difference for your readers. First of all, I don't know why this didn't print, but there is a character list in the back.
Oh,
And so it has everyone's first, last name and their nicknames. And there's like a family reminder. So because it is a lot of characters, and I think
yeah. Oh my
it's a
God. That is brilliant.
it's a lot to keep track of anyway. And that was in my original submissions with the manuscript. So I don't know why it didn't make the galley. And then also, my sister did this amazing map.
Oh,
So
look.
So
cool.
yeah, so that those are fun additions that are in the finished book that make it a little
Very
easier.
nice. Oh,
You
those
know,
are snippets that you used on Instagram. I saw you post some
isn't
like
that cool?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
friend who's an artist took my sister's map and sort of vamped it up. She made the buildings bigger and then did a paper cutout. I mean, she's incredible. She did one for Stella too. I still have on my wall over there. And she's like, "Oh, that was so amateur. That was 5 years ago. I'm so much better now." I'm like, "I don't know, man." Like, she's incredible. She's
A true
amazing.
artist,
I
it's
know.
really
Oh,
done.
Right.
it's always
Yeah.
about growth.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, we did get the final
Yay!
copy, and
Excellent.
that's going to be our
Excellent.
Patreon giveaway for this month.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. We picked
Yeah,
the winner on the 15th, so just
yeah,
5 days from now.
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
So,
Okay, well that's
yeah.
exciting. And do I hope tag me in anything social. It's just Juliet Grames on all platforms, and I will of
Okay.
course reshare. So
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read it on eARC. Okay.
Oh,
At the
I've never
Galley.
used that. How is it?
Yeah. It was really good. And it was really
Okay.
helpful with some of those words that you used, some big
Yeah.
words that
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
never
yeah.
heard of before. So that was
Yeah.
so convenient.
Yeah. Excellent. Good.
And I kept the paper arc, so I could, write in the margins, etc., which I
Yeah.
enjoyed doing. So
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of
really,
my
We
I
have, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I allowed myself to be aggressive with the vocabulary in this one because I just love that in my daily life. And my agent didn't try to rinse it, and my editor didn't either. So I was like, I kept waiting for people to tell me to pull it back. And one of the fun things that's been happening so far is people responding to me, being like, I never knew this fill in the blank word. I'm so happy to know it now. And
Yeah.
the number one highest occurring such email is velications. Velication is the
Oh,
favorite word.
mhm,
Yeah.
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 interesting. All right.
So
No, I
yeah.
loved it. I loved it. And it made sense once you know that like she's an 80 something year old woman
Yeah, yeah,
telling this story
yeah,
that like, yeah, she has this expansive vocabulary
yeah,
that perhaps maybe a 27-year-old wouldn't. Who knows?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And did you have to like come up with these words, or are these words in your common everyday lexicon?
Um, how do I say this nicely? I think the second thing is kind of true.
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
So, um, yeah, I think part of sorry, this is like a little bit personal. I've always loved vocabulary. I love it, and I it's like one of my favorite things. And I love interesting words and seeing them in other people's books. And I think in the old days, meaning like up until 1995, authors were really allowed to use them. And then we've gotten a sort of, we really we want accessibility in our books, and publishers really take it out. So I have a lot of my favorite books are from before that period because I find them more, I just love encountering a word that I didn't know or hadn't seen in that context. It's like one of the great joys of reading for me. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. But another thing that happened was I felt more, I really wanted to create that character who would use those words because I wrote this book about a year after I gave birth. And one of the biggest struggles for me was losing my vocabulary, like short-term memory.
Mm.
And like when you're groping for a word, and like perfect word choice used to be my whole life. And so writing this book was sort of an act of reclaiming that thing that I used to be so proud of. And I got really into it. So I was like, I'm going to sit here until I remember what I want to say. We're just going to sit right here until the sentence is what I want it to be. I did a lot of, it was right here. This was where I wrote it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Wow. Well, I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, I love coming across new words.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that what you just said about more recent books possibly being,
Yeah.
streamed down. I don't want to,
Yeah.
cast aspersions anywhere, but reading a book where you're challenged to learn new words.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we have such a rich we're supposed to be doing the interview, right? Sorry. But no, we have such a rich language. We have more layers of influence from more language bases than almost any other language that's spoken to the extent that English is, right? And so we have this opportunity to be precise and to be whimsical and to be colorful within a context that a lot of languages just don't have. They have to use other tricks of wordplay, and so it makes me sad to think how much we leave on the table.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Is that
Can we
something
Yeah,
add?
you
you put in?
use
Yeah.
anything you want. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
Well,
So,
I'd like to ask just one quick follow-on question. When
Yeah.
you're reading a book and you come across a word that you don't know,
Yeah.
in my experience, there's two choices. You like
Yeah.
look it and say, I'm going to come back later, or you go
Yeah.
look it up because you want to know right then. Which
Yeah.
camp are you in?
I look it up right then.
Mhm.
This has been happening to me a lot lately because I'm on my third book, which I've been researching for 2 years, and I hope to sit down and start writing this fall, is going to be set during World War I in Italy.
mm,
And so I'm encountering a lot of military terminology and stuff. So I'm actually getting this a lot. So I can answer very freshly. I didn't actually know what a putty was, Puttee. And if you're reading World War I literature, you will find that word is everywhere. So, and then it gets, more technical after that. What is gelignite? I've learned a lot of words there. I look them up right away. I
Mhm.
like to onboard them. I make lists of them. I keep them on scraps of paper as well as on my phone, because you never know when you're going to need to know the word gelignite when you're at the supermarket, and that's good to have handy.
Absolutely.
well, yeah, I was going to ask you a follow-up question then. Like, do you remember these words? Obviously, you're making lists, so you do want to remember, but like, then do you try to use more common words that are new to you in sentences throughout the week or something to help embed them in your mind?
I think it's not as deliberate as what you said, but I think that when I have found a new word, it will stick in my mind because it was of interest to me, and I will suddenly find myself wanting to use it all the time. I remember about 10 years ago when I first encountered the word barbican, and that was one I didn't know. And I was like, barbican, that's a cool word. Why don't I know this? And suddenly everywhere I looked, there were barbicans, like, I mean, there was a barbican of books in my living room. And like, I wanted to use it all the time. So then I had to get to a point that I had to be like, Juliet, you're not allowed to say the word barbican again. And I haven't said it for 10 years, but now I've just said it 10 times. So I think I've used up my quota again, darn it.
Yes, there are some words we learned that we can use, throughout the week, and some just wouldn't make sense. It would
Right,
become
yeah.
very obvious that we were trying too hard.
Oh,
All
I love
right.
that. Well, we have an intro that we'll read, and then we can jump in with questions. We have questions for you, like about structure and your research, and then different concepts, ideas that we see running through the novel. But our problem is going to be not giving spoilers, because oh my god,
Yeah.
I ask you so many things.
It's
Would be
it is tough.
spoilery.
It
Yeah.
it is tough. This book, I'm actually like looking forward to doing two very different kinds of events where, later after it comes out, I have one book club booked for the end of September, but I'm like, I think we say you're not allowed to attend this if you haven't read the book. I think we're going to have to just separate, because
Or
otherwise
you
it
just
just,
say, we're going to
yeah,
have spoilers. It's your
yeah,
choice whether you
yeah,
attend if you
right,
haven't read it.
right. Attend at your own
Yeah,
risk.
yeah, but don't
Right.
be that person that's like, "Oh, I haven't finished.
Oh, don't
Please
tell me.
don't
Don't tell
tell."
me. It's like,
You
get
can
out.
you can tell we have a little attitude about that.
Yeah.
Oh my gracious.
All right. Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Does
I'm-
my I have a fan on. Is it bothering you? I was hoping the earphones are fighting it.
Oh,
You
I don't
can't.
hear a
No,
thing.
we
No.
can't hear
Okay.
it.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
all.
Now our eagle-eared editor Pat might, but you know, he's like he's not even human anymore. He's like
No.
God.
Evolved beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Sorry, Pat.
we are so excited to welcome back Juliet Grames. Juliet was our guest on episode 137, where we talked about her first novel, the international bestseller, The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna. Her essays and short stories have been published in Best American Mystery and Suspense, Real Simple, Parade, Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine, and the Boston Globe. Julia is the editorial director at Soho Press. She was recently honored by the Mystery Writers of America with their Ellery Queen Award for excellence in editorial work in the crime fiction genre. She's back today to talk with us about her new novel, a literary mystery, The Lost Boy of Santa Chionia, which is set in the Aspromonte Mountains of southern Calabria in southern Italy. Welcome, Juliet.
Thank you so much. And thank you for pronouncing all those difficult words correctly. That is awesome.